Happy New Year and happy What Are You Reading Wednesday. I'm recording this a little early because I was reading one of the books that I'm about to tell you about and my mind exploded. Like, I was like, what am I reading? I've got two books for you today, but the first thing I want to say is Happy New Year again. I hope you're stepping into 2025 with everything that you want it to be or with plans to make it how you want it to be. I would love to hear those new reading goals, X, Y, and Z. And actually, I will probably post another video today going over what our goals are for 2025 as a podcast. So yeah, I have two books. First book, not so bad. Let me show you. I finished reading The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. This is for one of my book clubs. This is not a podcast book. That book was enjoyable. I gave it 4 stars. It's basically, there's like this really famous author who's like a recluse and lives really high up in like upstate New York. And she every year has a writing retreat where she brings 5 women authors or like aspiring authors to come. And spoilers, I'm going to kind of tell you real quick what the book is about. There's the main character, Alex, gets invited even though she's over the age that they want them to be, because one of her other friends is an author, and I guess they had somebody drop out, and so they needed somebody else. But she finds out that her ex-best friend, who she kind of has a little bit of a romantic relationship, also had her work submitted and was also accepted. So they accepted 2 people in the place of one who dropped out, but it's her ex-best friend. She gets there, and essentially this writing retreat is like a full-time job. It's for the whole month of February. They have to write every day, 3,000 words a day, and it turns deadly because it's not as wholesome. I'm not really going to spoil it. I thought I was going to spoil, but I'm not going to spoil that much. But it's not a wholesome writing retreat. Around Valentine's Day, things get a little sticky. So if you're interested in like a thriller, but I don't want to say cozy, but I just like enjoyed reading it. It was fun. Then again, that is The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. Now, I'm going to ruin your life with this next one. I'm not even all the way through with this book. I have to talk about it. This one is a doozy. This is for our horror book club. So there are lots of triggers. I'm not very far. I don't have a list of triggers, but I will tell you self-inflicted death. Also grape. Lots of brutalness, assault, those kind of things, that triggers for this book. And that is The Black Farm by Elias Withrow. So Keely knew that there was triggers for this book, and she warned the book club. It's not very long. I'm listening to the audiobook. I think it's 10 hours, so I listen on 2 times speed. I'm only to chapter 5, and something severe has happened. Essentially, we start this book off with a couple. They have had a really hard time. I think they lost a baby, and money sucks. Everything's bad, and they decide to do a suicide pact. And they wake up in a purgatory that might as well be hell. And there are monsters and things that are trying to not even off them, do worse than death things to them. And this book starts out very strong. After chapter 1, which is already heartbreaking, the action is actioning, the horror is horroring. So that is The Black Farm by Elias Withrow. Is that how you say his name? I think it is. I recommend it if you were into horror. I'm already my mom's reading it too, and she started before me, and I'm like, oh, I have my mom reading this. This is awkward to talk about, but yeah, so that is what I am reading this week. Again, Happy New Year, and drop down in the comments and let me know how you're kicking off your 2025 and what reads you're currently reading.